John wants to know whether or not you need to pass the bar examination in order to become a lawyer. Well, I'll have a little bit more about the bar examination in just a moment. The bar examination tends to have a lot of mystique about it, only because very few people ever actually get a chance to take it. In order to get to take the bar examination, you first have to pass a background check, and of course you have to be a graduate of an ABA-approved law school. Once you get past those two hurdles, then you have the right to sit for the bar examination. In order to sit for it, it's always a good idea to take a bar exam preparatory course. And there are, in most states anyway, at least two components to the bar exam. The first component is what's called the multi-state exam. And rather than testing your innate knowledge of whatever state you're trying to practice law in, for example, in my case, Missouri, it tests the general principles of law throughout the United States. And it is a multiple choice format examination. Now, that makes it a little bit easier to pass because all of the standard test taking techniques that work with multiple choice examinations will work with that exam. Even still, it's a good idea to take the preparatory course in order to get ready to take that test. But once you get through with that, which usually takes a full day, then the second day of the bar examination is usually devoted to state law. And what makes this perhaps more difficult than it would be otherwise is that it's a written exam. You get books and you have to write out the answers to questions. I will never forget my trust and estates question on the Missouri bar, which was one full page in 10-point type that went for the entire length of the page, and then it said, discuss the rights of the parties succinctly yet completely, which was nearly an impossible task given that question. But that's what you have to do. You have to look at the question, you have to spot the issues, you have to suggest what the outcome would be or should be. If it's a case that involves something like a tort, for example, you might have to talk about what the elements of that tort are, as well as what the defenses to the tort are or might be in that particular case. So there are numerous different sections of the bar exam. There are secured transactions, which basically are commercial transactions in the law. Things like commercial notes, debts, banking, real estate, all of those sort of things are wrapped up in the secured transactions section. There is a property section that deals with the issues that arise in the context of property law. And then there are things that deal with civil procedure and other sorts of legal issues that come up in the normal practice of law. The bar exam in most states is usually 2 days. In some states, like California, it can be longer, and I believe it's a little bit longer in Florida. I have taken the bar exam in 2 states, Kansas and Missouri. And in both cases, the bar exam was somewhat lengthy, but it was always, I thought, a fair examination of what I knew about the law. At age 65, I'm not really interested in taking another bar examination, so now what happens is I get to practice what's called pro hoc vice, which means for the purpose of one case. Usually that means paying a fee to the state bar or to the court for the permission to do that. And I have to get another lawyer in that jurisdiction to vouch for me and to serve as local counsel. And this happens countless times throughout the United States in all kinds of cases, but particularly in those cases that deal with large damages like drug product liability litigation. So yes, you have to pass the bar examination in order to become an attorney, but you'll get multiple chances. There are always people who do not pass the bar examination, whether they fail the multi-state examination or whether they fail the state portion of the exam. People do fail it. Now, in some states, I believe Colorado was one, if you pass the multi-state examination with a high enough score, you can get your license in Missouri and then apply to Colorado and get your license in Colorado without having to take the state-specific portion of their exam. I would offer this suggestion, however. It's very difficult to practice law in two different states. The Bible says no man can serve two masters, and indeed, when you serve the law in more than one state, you have to become the master of laws in both of those states. And that can be quite taxing. And it can also produce mental errors and errors in how you go about practicing, how you meet deadlines and things like that. Because the deadlines often vary in different states. So that's the story of the bar exam. I hope you found this interesting, and if you're getting ready to take the bar exam, I hope that you found it helpful. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below, and otherwise, I'd appreciate it if you would like and subscribe to my channel. If you touch the subscribe icon, it will bring up the notification bell, and if you hit the all notification bell, you'll be notified every time I release a video on this channel. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.